out of my book. So the IWC Sickos were out in furious force. But before we get into that, I want to read you a fantastical tale of Tony Khan. However, it's not a full-length tale. It's not a full-length tale. I'll spare you guys, okay? This was back on September 7th. Tony Khan said, "Tonight, we're right now approaching a sellout crowd of 9,000 incredible Chicago wrestling fans for this evening's AEW All Out pay-per-view, which starts very soon. Haha. Thank you all for watching AEW All Out tonight." And then Burning Senton goes, "You descend from your diamond-encrusted throne high in the wrestling heavens to deliver this thrilling sermon ahead of another marvelous presentation of wrestling. A presentation finely crafted by your meticulous, razor-sharp mind. We are not worthy." I thought that was cute. So Pro Wrestling Counselor posts this. He clips the real one. Guys, I encourage everybody. I know we give him clout by saying, "Hey, real one, I'm going to roast you on the show, bud. What are you going to do, bud?" But real one is like actually a WWE fan who's just purely trolling disingenuously. So just don't give him, don't like click on it. Don't respond. Don't even like quote tweet it and say, just ignore it entirely, because that's all he's doing. Like he's just legit trying to live off that blue check. So ignore his ass. Don't quote tweet him. But if you're going to clip him, do it like Counselor, where he like clips the picture of it through his feed or whatever. But even though that's one impression, even though it was on the feed. Anyways, Ebu of Wrestle Purists tweets out NXT 369K 0.18. Now, Meltzer's already done his spin because AEW did 632 or 33K with a 0.20. So he's like, it's pretty much the same thing, Tony Khan. And so Real One's like, back to reality now. But then he's like, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, he's so mad, but but he's like, so he goes, yeah, back to reality. But it's like, this still beat Dynamite, which is crazy. So I don't know if he put this out before. And then Blaze2324 says, hope AEW draws a good number this week so E-Drones can get pissed off. So Tony Schiavone made it to the Sicko segment, and I'll give him another one. Because Schiavone says Bryan Danielson is the GOAT. Okay, I call everyone the GOAT. Surpassing Michaels, Bret Hart, and Ric Flair. And he says Danielson is the best of all time for a man like me who has watched Flair, Michaels, and Hart. He's the best of all time. There's no way he actually believes that. There's no absolute no way he actually believes that. Chris Connors, what do you think about Schiavone saying Danielson usurps Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels?
Hey, Tony Schiavone knows where his bread is buttered.
Chris sigh.
Just the sadness in that sigh. You could just feel it.
I think, come on, Tony Schiavone's most overrated announcer in pro wrestling. It was like, yeah, he, Bischoff was chosen ahead of him because they looked at Schiavone and went, yeah, no. Now he's on AEW, but supposedly Cool Kids promotion, and he's 60 years old, pushing maybe soon 70. And he's supposed to be the cool guy of this, broadcast trio. Oh, come on. No.
And Chris, we know it's for money because Schiavone got offered to work in WWE before, but he chose to do like college games because it was just easier on his life. And so this is easier on his life to just get paid a load and not have to like do the road and everything. I get it. So like whatever, he earned that, I guess. But yeah, he's absolutely so is Excalibur. I'll just
they have a drizzling shits. I'm telling you right now, this is just ball washing 101 from Tony Schiavone. I mean, literally, might as well just go up and rub, Tony's back, give him a hug, grab, Danielson's ass, go, hey, you're awesome. You're the best thing since sliced bread. I'm getting sick of this. If you want to say Bryan Danielson's been one of the best things ever in AEW,
he is great. Don't get me wrong, he's amazing.
Or if you want to say like pound for pound, even like you could say it, but just to put it over. But you know how when Chris was saying that Tony's the cool guy, you know how he's the cool guy because he's got that earring. That says real cool in 2024.
I mean, Ric Flair, really, Flair? Oh, come on. Look, I'm not even a Flair guy, but like Ric Flair drew crowds. Ric Flair, could work with anybody. It was believable. Danielson's not. Stop. I feel like
I don't know. I think he is believable. I think he is. I really like Danielson, but I agree that he's. Well, here's the thing: is that I said this is the problem with AEW. I say, and then they just make me sound dumb when I go. I said like he's perfectly rated. He never revolutionized the business, but he's one of those guys that's up there, right? That's what I said about Danielson. I think he's perfectly rated. Then the IWC goes, no, you, Phil, on your birthday, because you're Schiavone saying he's as good as Bret Hart and Michaels. And it's like, well, come on now, IWC. That's not very fair to say that he's up there with one of the greatest Iron Man double turn matches in the history. No, it's kidding. But anyways, do you know what WWE Vault uploaded? They uploaded like the Rise of Sting or whatever. And it's Sting's chance. I whipped it on. I fell asleep like an hour in. I whipped it on last night. I was like 2 hours in, fell asleep. It's like a 3-hour video or whatever. Okay. So I'm going to finish it up probably tonight. Schiavone's great. Whenever he's featured on that, people love that Tony Khan money, and it's for life money. You got to understand. It's for life money. I know like awful in these guys, and I love them to death, but they're like, really, it's not going anywhere, bro. They got so much money.
Tony doesn't have the money. His father has the money. And his father,
but his
father is building the new Jacksonville Stadium and trying to get all this launched. So,
yeah, his father gave him a chunk of it.
They have the money. Yeah, if he goes,
got the money right there.
Brad, I need 100 more million. His dad.
I don't know about that, because I mean, what point is his dad? Look, you were running with Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham
his
FC.
Dad, patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. You can watch my watch along with NFL films. His dad let him walk up in that draft room with a neck brace and a big chart, looking like a.
Yes, I know, because it's like, okay, just.
Looking like Simple Jack, going, yeah, well, you didn't take a power driver. It's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, his dad
that's like not connected to
his dad's like, I invented the bumper. Who gives a
Yeah,
no, his dad's just like, oh, please, let this be a phase.
We went to the PW arena.
It's like when one of these days, Phil, you'll have kids, and your kids will get into Gary say Pokemon, and you'll go, okay, it's a phase. They'll get out of it. They'll go back to wrestling. They'll stop the Pokemon crap. That's what his dad's doing. Like, okay, this is a phase. He'll get out of it. Because eventually his dad's going to look and go, this is not working. I am not sinking money into this. You have two jobs.
Making all the money from the bumpers. So he's not. It'd be one thing if his dad was like retired and just not making. He's still making money hand over fist from the bumpers and everything.
Bro, yeah, he invented like the modern bumper. Google that.
Yeah.
He's like
I understand that.
Never ending.
All Toyota vehicles use his bumper. All of them.
They have two teams that are horrible. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars are horrible. The Fulham FC is horrible. At what point does he tell his kid, like, look, we have two of the teams. You have a job. Get this done. Come back. Pro wrestling is not the big thing. You have a real job, son. I hate to say you have your responsibilities.
He does have a real
job.
Not
15.
He's got a fake job.
A real job.
I think his dad's just like, here, do this.
Boy.
Yeah. His dad just gives him an iPad that's not connected to the team's actual, intranet. It says, go over there, Tony, to do your thing.
Yeah, Dad, no, I promise, Dad. Oh, Dad, I promise soon it'll.
Yeah, all your statistics. Yeah, that's great. We're studying all your statistics, Tony. We love them. Yeah, they're great. Here's Time Cop on DVD. Just go over here.
The funniest ever said is in that NFL Films thing where Tony Khan puts the meter stick down to like measure his redact chart, and then he goes, I'm surprised he didn't put a line on that. He's like, I don't know, man, that's harsh, but it's so funny. It's like
I will say this.
I
will say this. Imagine next year Bill Belichick gets hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Tony goes to him, hey, let's have you on AEW as the wrestling promotion. I could see Belichick just looking at him going, golf, kid. Just golf. I'm trying to run a football team, not deal with romper room. Just piss off. Just play with the toys. Leave me alone. I want that.
Money makes people do things, man. Tony Schiavone is afraid of the grind. We got to give you a bruv for that. I don't know if he's afraid of the grind, but I definitely love your joke. But if we're gonna take it like Amelia Bedelia literal for a second, what you're saying, it ain't that. It's just he can live comfy, do his pod from home, and just fly out once a week. He probably just moved to Florida, I assume. I don't know, but he probably just lives in Jacksonville. That's what JR did. I just think it's the
still live
money.
in Georgia. That's what he was doing, because that's what he was calling the Georgia football.
Right. So does he live in Georgia and shit? I mean, dude, think about this. You live in Georgia, you fly out to Jacksonville once a week or whatever the fuck, or wherever they are. We're in wherever. You just fly out.
And Tony's flying in first class.
One flight a week, first class, probably for Schiavone. It's like, this is great. But yeah, I know you're kidding, Ash, but I'm just taking you Amelia Bedelia for a second. CM Punk's dog is more over than Tony Schiavone. Schiavone is down with the sickness. Getting up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, getting up, come on, get down with the sick. Open up your hate and let them know.
WWE just uploaded a video of like Meet Larry. I wonder if that video's got like more views than like the most What Happened Wednesday.
Well, guys, you got to understand, they're making fun. AEW Neckbeard says, these excuses keep getting better and better. And so this is a reply to this guy who says, NXT is 9 years older than AEW. It isn't much of a developmental show either. More of a third main show for WWE. I don't know. What do you guys think about? What do we got to say? It's just cope, yeah.
Okay.
It's older. It's like, okay, UFC is the fastest rising sport. NFL is like 100 years older than UFC. It doesn't matter. You know, things change. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like, bro, yeah, I know 10 years ago, but we got to talk about what's going on right now. We can't explain how the universe works. Don't cope over it by being like, it's a third main show. Why? Because the Good Brothers are on it. It's just a good wrestling show. It's just
a way for them to divert the attention away. Like that's why it's beating it. It's not because the booking is terrible and has been from day one. Sorry.
And you wonder, Phil, why I do not like AEW. They're just like the whiny little people who complain about everything and anything.
No, you're right,
I keep
Chris.
hoping that eventually, David Zaslav gets canned and signed to UFC.
He's good, bro. If I could even just,
how has he not?
Oh man, I've heard just ridiculous about that dude too. That's a whole other cast. I need to start like a cast where I just talk about like movies and stuff. A third main WWE show, sure, it is. Whatever. Neckbeards calls him out. So here's Elboo in the chat. Elboo of Wrestle Jurists. So backup Hangman. This is an incredible idea. Just destroy the show and burn the ring down. And this guy goes, the BCC should just kill Rampage, like to get it off the air because it's not part of No Deal. And Ibu's like, this is an incredible idea. Just burn this show down, and then it disappears forever. So
are we sure that Ibu is not, just Nigeria for Dave Meltzer? Are we really sure?
What it is that like the AEW guys jump. I called it out 100 times because it's like all that. I don't know. MJF like will pop up in his live streamers spaces. Like the AEW folk. He blocked me because I quote tweeted a video that someone posted of him. So I don't know if he vanity searched or what. I have no idea. Whatever. I'm sure if we met in person, we'd be like, what's up, bro? It'd be all good. But I quote tweeted a video of Tony Khan shaking everyone's hand and just skipping past Elboo. And like, it's the funniest video. I don't know, whatever. It's on my Twitter somewhere. And he just still shills for that. MJF showed up in his live stream the other day and was like, oh, Adam Cole and all this, cuts a promo. That's awesome. Like, it's funny and hilarious, but that's why his opinions are the way they are, just putting that out there. So, and you guys have to understand too, if Roman Reigns appeared on my show, would I not make more money off that? So that's kind of the WWE making me money, whatever. Let's say MJF, let's say Britt Baker, let's say whoever shows up in Ibu. Is that not AEW helping this guy, whatever, right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's all I'm throwing out there. Like, who have I had on my show? Matt Morgan is a legend. He didn't even work anywhere. He's a politician. It's like so that's all I'm saying, dude. You got to have people who keep it 100, as Conan would say, the hot news. But I just don't think Ibu's coming from a place of legitimacy just because people in AEW with him heavily. Here's Bully Ray owning this real one guy. Now, Dude, I don't care about going after Real One because he is a jabroni. But like, Bully Ray's made it a mission to be like, "Nuff this dude." So I mean, I don't know. Here's the tweet we read earlier. Real One's like, "Back to reality," and then Bully's like, "This is your reality," and it's him walking him on a leash. This delusional AEW fan says, as a diehard AEW fan, the only way to get a true and accurate rating number is as follows. 1, the lead-in must be Big Bang Theory on Dynamite. 2, no other live programming at the same time, sports, concerts, etc. 3, no breaking news whatsoever. 4, weather outside can't be sunny. I love that. He's a troll account, obviously, but I had to bookmark this sicko here because Dave said this with the newsletter, so that's later. But they said WWE WrestleMania is no longer the top priority for London as the NFL has expressed interest in hosting the Super Bowl in Wembley Stadium. So here's the thing. Dave's saying this, and it's like, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but this guy, Chris Wozni, goes, "That's so funny. London doesn't even want WrestleMania. They want All In, but not WrestleMania." So just like a bot, like, bro, you don't even exist. You don't even understand the fundamentals. So we're just not going to waste our time, but we're going to continue along. But I just had to bring that up. Like, and there's not just him. You guys trust when I come to the show too. It's not just like one guy said this, unless it's like me versus some lame. Oh, it's other people are saying that they don't want WWE. It's insane. So Counselor goes, "I've heard someone say that he is really a smelly guy to the point that," okay, whatever. Counselor's going hard. But Righteous Reg goes, "They don't belong here."
Oh, to
the WWE Arena show in Philadelphia.
The company that owns ECW's name doesn't belong there.
And they just did a Mania there. They just did Mania there. These people are goofy, man. It's goofy.
Like, my brain can't even comprehend, like...
That's just funny, man. That's funny.
All you can do is laugh. It's just funny.
Bill wants to go full heel. But
no, I don't want to.
He's Canadian. Phil, I'm telling you right now, find your inner American. Be an a-hole. You're too Canadian.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. Yo, so he's keeping it real. He's going, "This is the problem, Eddie." And then I got a response too. Someone was like, "This Eddie guy trolls people." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't care. This is just my response. I don't care if he trolls, whatever." So I've never encountered him before. But this gentleman, Eddie Gillette, goes, "Alvarez is wrong." And this is about the stuff in the Sickos remix. We played it on the show. We're going to play it at the end. But here's Alvarez. Let me just play this clip, okay?
And I believe the problem is that Tony Khan remembers every last single thing that ever happened in AEW. And his presumption is you do too.
No. Hold on, Alvarez. See, so what Alvarez just said there is so important. Tony Khan remembers everything that yes, and he also remembers everything that happened ever in 1995 in the Super J Cup when Chris Jericho took on Jushin Thunder Liger in ECW against Ultimo Dragon and the Falls Count Anywhere. He remembers all that. That's the problem. He's a very intelligent guy. I've never sat here and gone, Tony Khan is stupid and a low IQ. He's low IQ. It's not that he's like a dumb guy. He's just not creative, which is fine. Intelligent people think they're creative all the time. There's an infamous episode of Bar Rescue where Taffer shows up and these dudes are like nuclear scientists and they can't figure out like how to run a tab from like a table to a machine. Bro, for real, because they're dumb smart. It's like Einstein. They said Einstein wore Velcros and couldn't tie his shoes. He was too smart. It's like Tony Khan, man. He's kooky because he's so smart, and I get that, but he thinks, "Oh, we'll bring El Hijo, Del Vikingo in." It doesn't matter. People don't give a... No one's going to care about Garcia. No one's going to care about Yuta. No one's going to care about Cassidy. No one's going to care about Jack Perry. I'm so sorry that these are the guys that you didn't realize would have been marketed to children really well. And instead you up and like tried to be like, these are our next guys. I'm sorry that you that up, but that's y'all's bad. And then Alvarez has to point this out 2 years after Phil Marks said it. He's doing my gimmick. Let's play it.
Therefore, he doesn't bother explaining anything.
There's never recaps. There's been more in the past month or so. That's true, but they need more still.
We need more recaps.
Oh, so people like story and drama and recaps and reminders and refreshers because we all go into it understanding the commonality between human beings where we go, let's say this was Iron Man Part 1, right? Let's say it's your first time ever watching a Marvel movie, but you put on Endgame. It still slaps because they explain it as if it was a standalone movie, and they explain it as if you've watched 15 movies before it. And that's what wrestling's supposed to be because it's the closest thing to comic books we have in live action, right? So comic books are about these larger than life characters, these superheroes who fight these super ultra bad guys, and this happens, and it's decades of storytelling. It's the same thing with pro wrestling, right? Like what Hulk Hogan's doing directly affects what Randy Orton did, directly affects what Javante Evans is going to do. It's all a thing. It's evolution is a mystery. Blah, blah, blah. It's what it is. So at the end of the day, we need the packages and all that stuff. Now, yes, did Vince used to beat us over the head with replays and packages? Yeah, but it doesn't mean
they're all bad.
Right. It doesn't mean he was completely off base. It means like, no, you extrapolate what's good, and then you discard what was bad, and then you improve upon it. And that's what they're doing in WWE. That's why it's so hot. And that's what AEW's not doing. They're playing catch up. They turn their ropes white and red. Do you guys notice that? They got rid of all the white and red ropes. That's all we got, like Raw and SmackDown and everything. That's all they don't know what to do. Oh, the long camera shots. We're going to do that after WWE. They haven't put one drone in a building. You know, Tony Khan's got all the money for drones. We have money for Woo Wings. We don't have money for drones.
Woo Wings in the final countdown.
When Kevin Dunn was, I've said it a million times. I'm going to retread and re-talk about it. You guys who don't like it. Your boy Phil's telling you right now. Bro, for real. Your boy Phil's telling you right now. Listen, when Kevin Dunn was still up in WWE and AEW was a thing, why didn't they break out the drones first? And because they don't think of anything first. They just
originality.
No, it's just repeating other. And so even these two marks right here are going, yeah, we need more packages and replays. Like that's the thing we complained about for 7 years. But do you guys want to know why? Because when you do it the way WWE does it, it works. This last SmackDown, I will say a lot of the pack, I went, damn, we need more match action. I felt myself thinking that a little bit. But I was still satisfied. You know what I mean? And like it did go with like Kevin Owens being in the car was a little long and all that. But they can get away with it from time to time because they've been hitting on all cylinders. AEW doesn't get away with it. It's like in the For the Sickos video. The meme pops up for 1 second because it's the most important meme of all time, but it's a gem I dropped for you guys for 1 millisecond, where it's the meme of Jim Cornette going, enjoy all wrestling? Sure. I enjoy to analyze and be a hater or whatever. That's me. You know what I mean? So you guys are way behind. These guys are light years behind on Phil Marks said 2 years ago. They're about to quote Phil Marks here. Let's listen.
Need more announcers telling us what's going on and why.
Yep.
We need all of that. I don't want to hear that makes it more WWE. It makes it more pro wrestling.
Oh, is that what Phil Marks? Wait, Jake, I know this guy. His name is Phil Marks.
All right, so Phil, I want to ask the big question, but that all the Sickos but all your fans are asking right now. When
my listeners, not fans. Fans is cringy listeners.
All right. So when are your followers want to know, just like I do?
Yeah.
When are we getting a confrontation? When will you go up to friggin' Dave Meltzer, give him the business?
You know what? Bryan Alvarez is far superior to me as far as belt ranking in jiu-jitsu. However, I would not ever shy away from a grappling contest with him. I have him in size, and I am technical for where I'm at. He's like a black belt, though, so he'd probably get me, but I would not shy away. I'd get tapped out willingly in front of him. I don't give. And then Meltzer, I will never slap him. You want me to physically assault an old senior citizen and Dave Meltzer? It's never going to happen. I'd never do that. You know, I got respect for the man as far as just the life he's lived, you know?
Just don't take anything he says seriously. That's all.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what we do.
Cheating people out of their good $14.99 per month. He keeps just poking at you. He's poking with the Canadian bear going, hey, Phil Marks and the rest of you guys, they're AEW bots.
But you know how? But Chris, you got to understand. In his world, bro, I've made him a meme. Like, I know other people made him a meme, but I made him an emoji. Bro, he's the food forever. He can't ever escape the foods. Now that's
you saw that those panda memes of getting violent. I want you to do that. You walk up, you grab his keyboard, you smash, you tell him, hey, you know your role and shut your mouth, Dave Meltzer. I'm Phil friggin' Marks, and you're my bitch. So sit down and stop with the fake news.
I would like verbally, if he ever came on the show, I'd take him to task. Unlike Conan, for sure, I would take him to task. But it's not like I don't.
He'll leave his office.
I don't physically hate anyone. It's just like wrestling. I don't. Whatever. Anyways, let's listen to what Alvarez has to say.
Wrestling promotion.
Because he's quoting Phil Marks, by the way. Bryan Alvarez listens to PWT. Confirmed.
Yes.
Okay.
Promotion. Is in the word. In the name.
The reason WWE does most of what they do. Not all of it, like not being able to say hospital is just Vince McMahon madness. But the reason that they promote matches in advance and they recap things that happen and they make past events seem important to make future events seem important, that's not a WWE thing. This is the promotion of professional wrestling thing.
Oh my God, guys. Phil Marks on Wrestling Observer confirmed.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
Oh my God. I've had so many arguments. So many people have DM'd me to die and stuff because of the things that he just said. Do you guys get where I'm coming from? I don't know. I'm drunk right now. Who gives a? I see JD from NY, and like I don't hate on the guy at all, but like I defended him hard. I went hard on Dax, but like JD will say where it's like, yeah, dude, 2 years ago is what we said. You're like so late to the party. And then Meltzer, we're going to get into it. He's like, I have a new idea for what AEW should do, run smaller buildings. Oh, really? So it's a PWT, It's like,
this is why they're big fans of AEW, because they're not original either, Just, let's go.
They do it in New Japan. They do it in TNA. They do it in
every wrestling. They do it in TNA. That's why TNA's hot. Everywhere's hot in AEW. They just don't promote wrestling the way Phil Marks said wrestling should be promoted. Idiots.
Company in the world. It is a pro wrestling thing to do recaps and to hammer things home into you. There's a reason it's called a promotion.
Oh, we did it. They did it. Like, come on, man.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
Yeah, like you should be humiliated. The fact you haven't said this 2 years ago, bro. This is what's crazy to me. And they're trying to, this is why it's a grift. They're trying to sip on the sauce that like I've been brewing. You know what I mean? They're trying to sip on the sauce that like certain people like Awful been brewing. And even though Awful like fully wants AEW to die, it's like him and like people like Neckbeards and like I've been brewing and bro, you know what I mean? Wrestle Soup for they've been for like over a decade. They've been brewing. They're just trying to jump on that wave because like people saw it way more. It's so corny, man. These people are so silly. I will not stand for this chat. This is a fool. I will not stand for this. Like this.
Not stand for your Alvarez.
It is my birthday, bitch. I will not stand for this.
Funny, and it's called a promoter.
Promoter. Tony Khan, promoter of the year. Oh, you putz.
Promote your.
Here's why Alvarez gets this, because it's WONF4W. They're combined. They're the same thing. So that's why you get cooked for trying to cook AEW, bro. We're not letting you slide, homie. We're the PWT, bro. You're not gonna slide for this shit.
AEW doesn't do that. They presume you know. We shot this angle. You're gonna remember. We shot this angle with Stokely on Rampage. You're going to remember, even though nobody watches Rampage, they just need to.
Nobody watches Rampage now that it's not mentioned in the deal. And after Phil Marks said for 2 years, nobody watches Rampage, even him, who's Phil Marks. And now we're going to say that that's a thing, even though people would freak out and tell you that it doesn't matter. Like,
if anybody else said this, Dave would call them the out of touch podcasters.
Out of touch 90s podcasters. What about me, Dave? I turned 33 today. What about me? But Dave, come do an interview. Same with Alvarez. When they break up, Alvarez is going to come to PWT.
Oh, man.
Say more go on and tour. Hammer more of it home so that people remember. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
What do they call them, Alvarez? So You listen to Phil Marks confirm. What do they call them? You know what they call them, Alvarez, because you're one of them. You know what they're called.
You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW. What do they call them? Sickos?
Yeah.
What do they call them? It's printed on a T-shirt. I bet you were sent one. Stop quoting Phil Marks. Just at me on Twitter. Thank you.
If you run a promotion just for the Sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers of it.
So again, at Pro Wrestle Times could have just tagged me. I don't know what your approach is, but you're clearly just quoting Phil Marks. Continuing along.
Eventually. Like, you got to run a promotion for everybody.
So when I go on 30-minute autistic rants and people hate on me because I go, you know what? AEW needs to like appeal to the sickos, but they need to cater to like the wider casual audience the same way WWE does social media things and things where you need to look in the backgrounds of vignettes and promos to where they cater to the marks like us. However, what they're really doing, they're trying to garner the casual fan who taps in, because casuals are the lifeblood of every industry. Nobody buys McDonald's every day. Some of them do. They're sick fat freaks. The people who buy McDonald's maybe once a week or twice a week, that's called a casual, and that's the lifeblood of every industry. I'm going to give Phil Marks an air horn. Tony Khan has the same intelligence and gullibility as Professor Utonium. LOL. Damn, she went deep cuts on that one. I'm going to give you a You what? Because I bet you like 4 people know what that even means, Ash. But I love you. You know that. Brian will wake up, then say something stupid again. Happy birthday, Mr. Marks. Wake me up inside. I can't save me. Do you guys like when I sing? No? The reason he won't go full in on Dave is because he's got to take over the Empire one day. Yeah, chronicling it. We're chronicling it. Here, I'm going to play the end of this here.
Sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise and like are the complete diehards. But like, you got to promote for everybody.
Happy birthday, Phil. All these AEW takes sound so ice cold now because people have been saying this for 2 years now. Yeah, your boy Phil's been saying, I hate to like blow myself so much, but it's like, I have to. Who's going to put me over if I do? Like, I've been saying that, like, what are we talking about? And I'm the biggest fan. I try so hard every time. Too. Yeah, dude, and I try. It's all just documented on the internet. I try and like tell you guys why Dynamite's good, even though it's like I get why you won't accept this, and I'm gonna try and spin it every time, but I get it. It's whack. It is what it is. You're absolutely right. They're cold ass, need a sweater take. Shout out my guy Husey, who gave me that line. Yeah, and I robbed it and haven't given it up. Yeah, this guy says Alvarez is wrong. What makes AEW great is how intelligent the fan base is. To spoon feed and patronize the audience in a WWE way would water down the product. Don't know what's going on. Google it. He literally said, Google it. This is top level. Best storylines, best everything. Don't fix what ain't broke. Yeah, that's the problem. Even what's his face said it. AIR Gold said, this is the problem, Eddie. But I told AIR Gold personally, I said, yo, you will catch on one day and you will be like, God damn it, this is what's wrong. And he's saying it now. This is the problem, Eddie. Exactly. So Ibu says, literally quoting Phil Marks. Like, as of like what? Last week? Like the last show? He goes, AEW should unify the international and continental championships, and Takeshita should be the man to do so by defeating Okada. I would then send Okada on vacation after January 5 Tokyo Dome show and try to rethink how to approach him on TV. And Ibu's trying to get a Will Washington job, and this guy goes, unify to call it the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, God.
Fire. Except for no, because if you were actually creative and smart, you'd learn from Phil Marks and you'd learn the AC title, the All Continental. Don't call it the Intercontinental. It's All Elite Wrestling. Call it the All Continental title. This is what I said a year ago, you elbow idiot. I have an idea that Phil Marks thought of 17 months ago that I'm going to repeat now. Even though I blocked him for saying the same ideas, but now I think the same ideas. That's what JD did. Then he unblocked me. Just learn.
Then he unblocked me.
Acknowledge me.
I'm right, bro. About all this 10 years before this. What the fuck is he even
I'll
talking
come around
about?
eventually.
I'd make it. I'd combine the titles. I said that 10 years ago. No, but I said that like a year ago. Out of here, man. Elbow, man. It's so crazy. I gave him a chance, but I go hard on that dude now.
But I mean, how can you not? Yeah. Like, seriously, it's like asking for it. Jesus Christ.
And so earlier, the chat was getting mad at each other over politics. Let's just read some of these. Here's Vic saying the IWC and politics has got to be the most insufferable combo of all time. It's so true. Look at this. Batista sold his soul and went woke. Disappointed. This guy goes, wow, I wish Kane and Undertaker would die.
Jeez.
Batista cheated on his cancer-riddled wife. That's not very pro-woman of him. He can't even spell properly. That's redacted. Sorry, I almost went there. Guys, it pisses me off. It's like, this guy goes, ain't it crazy how the Undertaker's I can't even say this.
Right?
Never had a good match.
You what?
WrestleMania 26 at Shawn Michaels' retirement match, because we don't count the Saudi match. I was there in person.